Hello, and welcome to the first official HTML video. I say first official because this is the first video that we will actually be coding HTML. The last video was just for setting up our workspace and getting a bit familiar with our text editor. So first things first, what is HTML? HTML is a language that we type out ourselves, so it's a coding language basically, that the browser, Chrome, browser that I'm using, or Firefox, or Internet Explorer will interpret to display web pages. HTML focuses on structure of web pages versus CSS, which we will learn about soon in a future video, which deals with stylistic elements. So HTML can be seen as the functional kind of web design language, while CSS can be seen as more of a form-focused web design language. But HTML is fundamental, so we have to learn this first. And it's a really fun language to code in. So right here, we're going to open up our text editor, and then we're going to go and save our file before we do anything. So I'm in my project 1 folder, in my HTML projects folder, and I'm going to call this index.html, which is a conventional kind of default name. So it's the name for the default page that people go to when they visit a website, typically. Okay, so we're going to save. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to type in !doctype HTML. So what is this? This is called a tag. This entire thing in between less than and greater than signs is called a tag. DOCTYPE is the type of document we are working with. The exclamation mark is just convention for part of this tag. So we have this DOCTYPE HTML. What this is useful for is telling the browser, such as Chrome, that we are dealing with an HTML document here. So it makes things easier for the browser. The second thing we're going to do is set up the overlying structure of the web page we're going to work on. So everything that we do, pretty much, is going to be contained in HTML tags. HTML tags will act as a container for what we put on in our web page. So we're going to nest tags within these tags. You'll see this as a very, very common underlying theme of HTML. Tags are nested within other tags. And you'll see me indent. This is a stylistic element, so it doesn't really affect what we will see on our screen by me indenting as far as opening up the web page, but on the text editor, when we maintain and edit our web page, indenting is very important for readability. Technically, I could have all of this on one line, but that would make it very hard to read. Each web page has a head and a body. The head of a web page is mainly overhead for setting up things such as the title of the web page, the metadata associated with the web page. The body actually contains the substantial meat of our web page, the substantial content which is displayed to us, the reader, when we open up the web page on a browser. So we have HTML tags right here, and then inside this we're going to make the head tag. Oops. And then we're going to close it. See how Sublime just automatically closed my tag for me? And then within the head tag, we are going to make a title for our web page. Notice here how I'm not indenting. So not every tag needs an indent when we start nesting things inside of it. It's more the tags that deal with holding multiple lines of data, such as the HTML tag we see right here. So our title, what's a good creative title? How about my first web page? Okay, so this is going to be displayed on our tab within our browser. We're going to open up this web page after we design it, near the end of this video, so stay tuned. Inside the head tag also, we're going to type in some metadata, which is stored within our metadata tag. This tag does not have a closing tag like the title tag, or pretty much almost all of the tags we see here. The metadata tag, or just the meta tag, is going to have an attribute. Attributes are HTML constructs in the form of something equals something else in quotes. We'll see many attributes in a variety of tags, but right here we have the attribute charset, which is essentially a way of encoding characters. So the browser is going to want to know, how do I encode all of this useless or meaningless, for now, data that's coming at me? And then it reads the meta charset tag, and then it thinks, oh, okay, UTF-8. I have instructions for encoding in UTF-8. It's just a set of instructions for the browser to encode data and display text onto the screen. So, charset UTF-8 in our meta tag. And now let's go to the body tag. So in between the body, first thing we're going to do is make a heading tag. So the heading tag, H1, is like a newspaper article heading. And each subheading, all the way down to H6, is included in HTML. So H1 through H6 has various headings and subheadings. And then right here, we're going to type, let's see, something creative again. My first heading. Okay, these really aren't creative, but that's how it goes sometimes. Underneath this heading tag, we'll create a paragraph. So paragraphs in HTML are set using the P tag. Okay, so this also has a closing tag, and then within our paragraph, we're going to type, you guessed it, my first paragraph. Okay, well, this is the basic setup for an HTML page. So to review, our DOCTYPE tag, HTML tag, head tag, title, meta, body, H1 through H6, and P tags. So we kind of learned a lot in this video so far. Now let's see it. I just saved this. Ignore this message. Command S to save. Exit. HTML projects. Project 1. Index.html. And voila. So here's the title of our web page. And then, oh, I didn't even notice this. My first heading and my first paragraph. So you see how the tags change how data is displayed, and the browser interprets all of this. So this is it for this video. Stay tuned. We're going to go into more HTML tags. Leave a like and a subscribe, and I will see you next video.